We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Come on, let's go. Hey, over here, over here.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Brian Orakpo in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
20, like 80, 6.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard. Frank Clark in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
Hey, boys, got 4 down. Here we go. Black 80.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now it's Lockett. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Throwing is Wilson. This is complete. It's Baldwin. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On third down, Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Garoppolo. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to second and goal. They'll try to run with McKinnon, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Garrett Selleck, his second touchdown on the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. Gold now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. They'll run it now out of the gun. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Let's go. Silence.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off. Right?
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brian Orakpo in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Here's Ryan Allen now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that.
It got his man complete. And all the way up to the 49. Garoppolo able to find Goodwin for a big one. 49 yards. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Garoppolo on 1st down. A dump down to McKinnon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Toss play to McKinnon, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the 1st down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Here we go.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. You know, the running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
And they might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Gould is able to put it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now Wilson on second down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On second down, Wilson. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's go get it right here. Come on.
Wilson on third down. He hits Baldwin right side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased if they didn't pump.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. K.J. Wright leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
4 down. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to get.
And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, Charles, after that interception in the Super Bowl from the 1-yard line, I thought Pete Carroll would run it inside the 5 every time.
Sometimes I wonder if maybe Pete did want to run it inside the 5. But Russell Wilson, you know he's such a competitor that he doesn't want that interception to stand, that maybe he wanted to be in that spot. Say, hold it a second. I can throw a touchdown.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marcus Golden in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
11.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. Garoppolo now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
11.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards it. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
They'll give it to him up the middle. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
In the backfield, standing alone on 2nd and goal is McKinnon. He'll get it up the middle and across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Jerick McKinnon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Gold with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Gold now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. Play action. It's Wilson. Looking deep downfield. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up first and 10. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4.
11. Here we go. 180.
Now Garoppolo. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let one fly into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here again is McKinnon. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Niners on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3.
180. 13. 13.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. It's caught. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
He completes it to Bryant. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They go play action now. Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he'll get this up to about the 40. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Hey, gun. Black 80.
They run once more with McKinnon. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after the run by McKinnon, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
11. Here we go. Check nickel. White. Right there. 12. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he's taken down inside the 30. Garçon with his first grab, good enough for a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Garoppolo. Over the middle to Garçon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting them in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And here's McKinnon, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Black 80! White 20! Stay hot!
Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
White 20!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Wilson. He gets it to Baldwin. And now running right through it. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now Wilson on 2nd down. He lets it fly for Lockett. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Garoppolo Garoppolo on first down. And this one is incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And now it's second down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to face a third down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And able to find Belson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Garoppolo looks to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
This is complete. It's Baldwin. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. They go play action here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Baldwin. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Again on second and 10, it's Wilson. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Now Griffin being chased out left. And his first throw here is incomplete. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Third and long, it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Lewis. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run with Carson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive, so they'll be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. And this is caught for a touchdown. We'll check the flag, but it looked like a clear offsides, and it should stand. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high-percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Back to throw. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th. They do tack on the extra point as well. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This is where you learn a lot about rookie quarterbacks. How can they run that 2-minute drill? We're about to find out. Yeah, and for them, it's not just proving it to guys like you and me watching the game and trying to beat a defense. It's proving it to their teammates that they can have the confidence in them. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on fourth down.
11. Here we go.
He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed fourth down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
Again, it's Penny, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Penny. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Frank Clark in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Seahawks, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Niners, add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful 1-9 so far. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Victory, all on my neck.